would be based on these core resources that you have. So you want to show them that this project that is consistent, that you've written and makes so much sense and is uniquely useful, you need to show that you are able to deliver it. Now there's a number of considerations when to come to it, because it is indeed possible that right now the project you want to do is slightly bigger than any project you've done before. That by itself is not evidence that you don't have capacity. It's all about, is it reasonable? Because it is possible you've been doing projects of 1 million krona, and now you want to do a project of 1.25. It is reasonable that you have capacity, the capacity you have, because that's believable. But if it's jumping from 1 million to 5 million, then it becomes a big issue of question, can you do this? So it needs to be reasonable. This is a sort of catch, because the question is then how would organizations grow significantly? Because we know clearly that if you do a project that's significantly bigger than you have now, the chances of winning are very limited, or if not zero. Yet, if we're going to do then this very gradual growth, then when will we be big? Yeah, it's a sort of catch-22. Yes? Now, the answer of what you will be big is, yes, you have to do this small, gradual growth, but do it with many funders. So you get your growth based on the number of projects rather than the size of the project. So the sizes should still be relatively small and relative to the capacity you have. So something like, I'll say, up to 40% growth of what you can do now is a reasonable measure. And you can see if you successfully have 3 projects 40% bigger than your current capacity, you would have doubled, you would have grown by 200%. So that's how you do it in the number of projects rather than the volume of an individual project, the size of an individual project. That's one observation about the capacity. The second thing is, sometimes we mentioned this in the, I think it was yesterday, it came up. Sometimes you have capacity that has formally not been captured in your reported accounts, your audited accounts. Because, for example, if you are getting a lot of pro bono support, or you are getting a lot of volunteering input, and it's not reported in your account is showing that you only have 2 staff, but you may have the equivalent of 4 other staff through volunteers. So you need to set that out very clearly, very distinctly, in a manner that's credible and easy to believe. I don't know whether in your languages you have the equivalent of what in England we call FTE, full-time equivalent. So when we're measuring jobs, people, we measure it as FT full-time or PT part-time. But we also have a third measure called FTE, full-time equivalent. So that means that I may have 4 different people, each giving me a quote. I may have 5 people, each working for me 1 day a week. So that's a 1 full-time equivalent. Yeah, so that's how you measure it. So that is easier and more sensible than trying to tell the story of all 5. So you would say 1 full-time equivalent, and if not, you can comprise 5 volunteers, something like that. So all your unreported capacity, please document it, report it, because otherwise you are sort of underselling yourself, and they don't see the capacity. That, as I said, applies, for example, if you're getting pro bono support from a corporation, most of those things are worth thousands of pounds, thousands of euros. Like the legal support that I get from pro bono lawyers, at the end of each financial year, I tell them to give me an estimate of if they were invoicing me, how much it would cost. So in fact, they give me a pro bono invoice, so it shows how much they would have charged for it of course, it's pro bono, I pay nothing. So that is important. I can even have that as documentary evidence. By the way, that approach is also very useful for when you deliver pro bono services, because sometimes we even help government or NGOs. What I do, and I also do that for my own company because we do a lot of pro bono